Hey there, infertile woman. Want to soothe your soul with cute fish at an aquarium? What a lonely life. It was the worst reunion ever. I was abandoned by my husband 15 years ago. The long years had healed my painful past, and I was living peacefully. Until one day, I unfortunately ran into my ex-husband at the aquarium. Beside him were his mistress, whom he chose over me back then, and a child who seemed to be his daughter. The painful memories resurfaced, and seeing my tense face, my ex-husband sneered maliciously. I left you, you couldn't remarry, and you're childless. Pathetic. Looking back, I'm so glad I divorced you. I even have this cute daughter now. His daughter then chimed in, this woman is Dad's ex-wife? Dad had bad taste, as she sneered arrogantly. Yeah, I really had to settle back then. Why did I even marry her? Laughing along with my ex-husband, his mistress and her daughter joined in, mocking and sneering in agreement. I was ridiculed by all three of them, feeling a mix of misery and anger boiling inside me. Doing my best to maintain composure, I spoke to the three of them. No matter what you all think, I am very happy now. Truly, divorcing you was the best thing that ever happened to me. Yeah, right. You're just a loser, pretending to be strong. Just as my ex-husband hurled those insults at me, screams suddenly erupted from the surrounding area. What? Really? Impossible! Can this be true? Amidst the screams, such voices were heard. Forgetting our argument, we simultaneously turned to look in the direction of the noise. That's when we saw someone approaching from the commotion. At that moment, my ex-husband's family froze, their eyes wide open and mouths agape in shock. I am Sarah. I married my husband following a workplace romance. We used to work in the same department, but after marriage, I transferred to a different one. The people in my new department were nice, and there were no problems, but there was one thing that worried me. When I worked in the same department as my husband, despite knowing we were dating, there was a female coworker who was blatantly flirting with him. When we announced our marriage in the department, she glared at me with such intense resentment. Now in a different department, I couldn't help but wonder if that woman was still pursuing my husband. Worried about being seen as a jealous wife, I agonized over this for a while but eventually decided to ask him directly. Oh, her? Were you worried about that? Don't worry, she's not my type. I've got Sarah. He said, embracing me, which relieved me, realizing my worries were unfounded. 3 years have passed since then. During that time, I faced a new concern. It was the fact that we couldn't have children. Since before our marriage, we had always planned on having children as soon as possible. However, with no signs of pregnancy, my husband gradually started to feel anxious and began pressuring me. Geez, it's been 3 years since we got married. Don't tell me it's your fault we can't have kids. It's all about timing and luck. Let's not get too stressed about it. What are you talking about so casually? Forget it. Talking to you is exhausting. Increasingly, my husband began to blame me for our inability to have children, causing me distress. He incessantly repeated, when are we having kids? Why can't we conceive? It may be you. Every day, every hour, while at home. Constantly blamed, I became mentally exhausted and started clashing with my husband. Lately, you've been coming home late, haven't you? It's overtime. Stop nagging, especially with your infertility. What are you saying? How is that relevant now? There are things you should and shouldn't say. And don't just assume I'm infertile. I'm just stating facts. Seriously, I come home tired and you're just annoying. My husband, clearly angry, quickly retreated to the bedroom. Lately, we were spending less and less time together. However, on a particularly restless day, my husband, unusually, had come home earlier than me. Welcome back. I had some time today, so I made dinner. Oh, really? Thank you. I was inwardly surprised by my husband's cheerful greeting. Seeing my puzzled face, he smiled warmly, and I sat down at the dinner table as he suggested. How is it? Yeah, it's delicious. I replied with a beaming smile, and my husband nodded in satisfaction. Want some more? Really? Then yes, please. I wondered if something good had happened. I wasn't sure, but my husband was in a good mood, and I found myself eating more peacefully than I had in a while. However, as my husband served me seconds, the words he uttered as he set the plate on the table made my ears doubt. Oh, right. I got another woman pregnant, so let's get a divorce. What? The line was delivered so casually, as if it were nothing significant. I thought I had misheard, but... That's right, I got her pregnant, so I want to divorce you. Unable to comprehend the situation, I froze, and my husband continued speaking. It's that girl, remember? From our department, the one who was cozying up to me. At first, I didn't pay her any mind, but then I got seduced, and now she's pregnant, you see? That girl, you said she wasn't your type. You're married to me. This is awful. It's too cruel. But hey, we can't have kids, right? I want children, so I'm gonna marry the one who's pregnant. When she told me she was pregnant, I was so happy. That's why I felt like being nice to you, the unattractive, infertile woman who always nags. Infertility is a solid reason for divorce, right? Let's get divorced. His unreasonable and unjust words mixed feelings of frustration, sadness, and emptiness, making my eyes ache. Before I knew it, tears were streaming down my face like a waterfall. Ignoring my state, my husband forced a pen in my hand and made me sign a divorce paper he had brought out of nowhere. With this, you and I are officially strangers. This apartment is in my name, so you need to move out soon. Saying this with apparent glee, my husband scanned through the divorce papers. You'll be paying alimony, right? Huh? Yeah. I can't wait for the kid. My husband, his mind elsewhere, was already thinking about the future, a future in which I was completely excluded. In that future he was envisioning, it seemed like I was completely excluded from his life. Overwhelmed with nausea, I locked myself in the bathroom and vomited until there was nothing left, crying all the while. It was the meal my husband had made. The next day. Sarah. I turned around with swollen, tear-stained eyes to find the affair partner standing there. Look at my belly. It's not big yet, but his and my child is right here. How about that? How about that? Jealous, aren't you? Too bad, he's mine now. Losers like you should just disappear. Her face, full of smiles, was overflowing with a sense of superiority and looked utterly vile to me. I couldn't bear working at the same company with my husband and his mistress, pretending everything was fine. I quit my job and fled, as if escaping from it all. After explaining everything to my parents, I moved back home and started working as a temp, following their advice. 15 years later, I was visiting an aquarium. In front of me, a variety of fish swam gracefully in a giant tank. As I admired the beautiful fish, a man's voice called from behind, "Sarah." Slowly turning around, I saw it was my ex-husband, whom I had divorced 15 years ago. He was the source of all my past pain. It seemed he was still with his affair partner from back then. Beside him was a child who appeared to be his daughter. Hey, I thought it was someone familiar. Long time no see. Huh? Who's this lady? You forgot? She's my ex-wife. Oh, the infertile one. The affair partner, not much older than me, mockingly wrapped her arms around my ex-husband and laughed spitefully, as if to show off. Hey, are you here all alone? Seeking solace in cute fish for your lonely life? What a pathetic existence. Hey, that's a bit too on the nose, don't you think? Left by me, unable to remarry, childless. I guess no one would take in a flawed woman like you. Poor thing. I'm really glad I divorced you now. We even have this cute daughter. Saying this, the daughter my ex-husband introduced snickered arrogantly, "This person is Dad's ex-wife?" I greeted her with a light hello, to which she responded with a haughty laugh. The girl's personality didn't seem too great, despite what they said. Isn't she pretty? The most beautiful girl in her school. My ex-husband introduced his daughter proudly, but I couldn't find her beautiful. Her parents' character seemed to show in her face, and I couldn't bring myself to like it. However, she resembled the affair partner but not much like my ex-husband. Jealous? You must be. You'll never have what I have. Ah, I'm so happy. And you, well, you know, right? That's right. It's good you were infertile, Sarah. Thanks to that, I got a wonderful daughter and my wife here. I'm grateful. You're really a lost cause as a human being. An infertile woman has no value. What are you going to do with your bleak future? Their inappropriate laughter echoed in the quiet aquarium. What a vulgar family. I calmly opened my mouth to speak. I also think divorcing you was the best thing that happened to me. No matter what you think, I am very happy now. Just as I said that, the crowd around us started buzzing. The person who appeared from the commotion made my ex-husband's family freeze in surprise. The crowd parted like the Red Sea. Emerging from the crowd was my daughter, Charlotte, holding juices for both of us. She had gone to buy drinks because she was thirsty. Mom, what's going on? Charlotte spoke with a bell-like, clear voice, her pink, well-shaped lips moving gently. With long, slender limbs and an exceptional figure, her skin as white as snow and large, bright eyes. She was a stunning beauty who turned heads. In fact, she attracted attention even before she appeared. That was my daughter. Charlotte, resembling her father, was known as the most beautiful girl in her middle school, standing out from the rest. Her friends, convinced she could win, had entered her in a beauty pageant without telling her. She participated and won the grand prize, leading to offers in the entertainment industry. Recently, she has been doing a lot of modeling work, following her grand prize win in the beauty pageant that led to offers in the entertainment industry. Charlotte's modeling career was going well. She was even often featured on the covers of magazines in bookstores. She looked puzzled at me, being with my ex-husband's family, when a pair of young girls approached and said, "We're fans." Really? That's so nice. As I took the drinks from Charlotte, she warmly interacted with the nervous girls, signing autographs. She was truly a goddess of fan service. Always attentive and smiling, no matter how tired or unwell she felt. Charlotte never neglected her fans, replying to the numerous letters with heartfelt, handwritten responses. Her supportive fan base was rapidly growing, truly soaring to new heights. Amidst the admirers, my ex-husband's daughter glared at us jealously. Her eyes mixed with envy and jealousy as she watched Charlotte, who was about her age. Wow, that girl, she's really pretty. An angel. Are we even the same species? Hey, why are you praising her? Right. Our daughter is way prettier than her. Yes, our child is much. Wait, Sarah. Aren't you infertile? Is she adopted? Did you use money to make it happen? Don't say such rude things in front of my daughter. She is indeed my child. I went to the hospital right after we separated. Turns out, I wasn't infertile. Really? So not having children with me was just bad luck, or bad compatibility, or something like that. Well, never mind that. Sarah, I admit your daughter looks a little good, but you're making her model? Must be really hard up for money. Right. You must regret quitting your job. Living a poor life and becoming greedy for money? Your husband probably isn't doing well either, right? How can they jump to such conclusions? As I was utterly astonished, Charlotte spoke up before I could. My father is a lawyer, you know. Once again, my ex-husband's family froze. He's busy with work every day, but he always makes time for family. He takes us on overseas trips every year, and we celebrate birthdays in hotel suite rooms. This year, we're going to Paris Disneyland. Charlotte, maybe you shouldn't say too much. Charlotte spoke firmly, with a determined expression. Hearing that my current husband was a lawyer, my ex-husband's family was dumbfounded. That's a lie. Stop lying. If that's true, Sarah, what dirty tricks did you use? Such a cunning woman. Always looking so meek, but actually so calculating. Were you fishing for a high-spec man even while married to me?
I did no such thing. Unlike you, I'm not that dishonest. You insolent, this.
My ex-husband raised his hand in anger. In a reflex, I closed my eyes. Then came a splash. The sound of water echoed. When I hesitantly opened my eyes, Charlotte, who had somehow grabbed a juice, had thrown it fiercely at my ex-husband. Her eyebrows were raised in rare anger.
Stop talking badly about my mom. What is wrong with you people?
My ex-husband, soaking wet, glared at me, trembling with anger.
Sarah, what's with this child? No discipline? I'll sue you. Pay for the damages.
His angry voice echoed throughout the aquarium. Passers-by in the vicinity stared at us in surprise. What to do now? As I was pondering, a buzz of excitement rose from the other side of the pathway.
Is that a celebrity? An actor? No, an idol?
Amidst the whispering, my current husband, Daniel, appeared. Sorry. I just finished a work call. Oh, who are these people? Charlotte undoubtedly inherited her appearance from Daniel. His exceptional style, his symmetrical, handsome face, and being a talented lawyer, he was a man blessed with everything. I was amazed when I first met him. And now, he is my husband, a curious twist of life. That's my ex-husband and his family. Ah, the ones you mentioned. Nice to meet you, I've heard about you from my wife. Oh, yeah. My ex-husband seemed taken aback by the sudden appearance of the handsome Daniel. The affair partner and her daughter were blushing, completely captivated. Daniel handed a business card to my ex-husband. Actually, I was the lawyer who handled your divorce with Sarah. Remember the settlement for alimony? You stopped paying midway. I've been wondering what to do since I couldn't contact you. But it's good we met like this. You'll pay the remaining alimony, right? Daniel spoke with a gentle smile, and my ex-husband, who had been so aggressive before, was now taken aback. No, why now? You have enough money, right? Then you don't need such a trivial amount, do you? No, I'll have you pay. If you don't, it'll be a court matter. Of course, I have all the official documents properly stored.
What? Court? That's abuse of power. I won't pay.
Look, the aquarium staff is coming. Let's go. The juice-covered ex-husband and his affair partner, pulling their daughter, fled like scared rabbits. Perhaps someone had complained, as an aquarium staff member approached, and Daniel briefly explained the situation. The staff member nodded and left. Dad, you're late. Mom was having trouble with these strange people.
I'm really sorry. Are you okay, Charlotte, Sarah?
Yes, Charlotte protected me. Is that so? Good job, Charlotte. Of course, with such rude people. I was saved thanks to you too. Thank you. No, I didn't do anything. I still had so much to say. There were many things I wanted to tell your ex-husband when I saw him. I can't forgive him for hurting you, Sarah. Leave it to me. I'll make sure he pays all the alimony. Daniel smiled handsomely, but behind that, I could glimpse a dark aura. I realized that the usually gentle Daniel was genuinely angry. At the same time, I felt deeply loved by him. Thank you so much. Let's cheer up and enjoy the day. After that, we had a wonderful day. A few days later, I received a call from an unknown number. Puzzled, I answered to find it was my ex-husband. He must have remembered my number, which hasn't changed.
Hey, I got a call from a law office about alimony.
What's this about? It's been 15 years, isn't it time-barred? Give me a break. I realized then that Daniel had indeed taken action against my ex-husband after the aquarium incident. It's something my husband is handling, I can't stop it. Could you call the law firm?
Why should I? Damn it! I'll give you $300, just let it go.
Why $300?
That's my monthly allowance.
Hearing my ex-husband's defiant attitude, I realized he didn't think he had done anything wrong. No way.
Why not? Just because you luckily got a lawyer for a husband, don't get cocky.
I'm not getting cocky. But there's something I've been wondering about. What? Well, I'm not sure if I should say this.
Just spit it out.
I mentioned the other day that I went for fertility tests after we divorced. It turned out I wasn't infertile. The doctors said the problem might have been with you. And I don't mean to be rude, but your child doesn't really look like you. I'm sorry if that upsets you. There was silence on the other end of the phone. After a lengthy pause, my ex-husband hung up without a word. Perhaps he realized something. A few days after that call, I received another call from my ex-husband. As soon as I answered the phone, my ex-husband spoke in a panicked voice, saying, "You were right." He had done a DNA test for the mistress and child, and it turned out he wasn't the father. When confronted, the mistress confessed that the child was from another man she was seeing at the time. She had been casually dating him until my ex-husband showed interest, and she ended the relationship. However, she got pregnant at a bad time and gave birth without knowing who the father was. The mistress, in tears, confessed that she had raised the child without knowing if she was my ex-husband's daughter. Can you believe it? She wasn't my child. Now that I think about it, that insolent kid never resembled me. I thought she was my child and cared for her, but when she clung to me, I pushed her away and told them to get lost. I divorced that woman and sent her and the child back to her parents. And why are you telling me this? I married her because I was tricked into thinking we were having a child, so it's the same situation. Let's call it even and drop the alimony claim. My ex-husband's arrogant excuses were completely illogical. I was appalled by his relentless self-preservation.
I'm not withdrawing the alimony claim. You're getting what you deserve.
Without waiting for his reply, I hung up and sighed. Later, I heard the affair partner kept pestering my ex-husband, asking him to reconsider. There are all sorts of rumors at work now. I've been feeling marginalized ever since what happened 15 years ago. It's really bothering me. I'm bothered by your calls too. Come on, we were married once. Can't you tolerate a bit of my venting? Why don't you pay the alimony first? It's your own doing, so deal with it. My ex-husband, who kept updating me on his life, seemed shamelessly thick-faced. I thought if I could be that brazen, maybe life would have been easier. I answered his calls because of the alimony issue, but I was completely fed up. He would just talk about trivial complaints, ignoring the alimony topic. Later, he was ambushed by the desperate affair partner wielding a knife. Fortunately, he managed to avoid injury, and she was arrested by the police. I didn't care about my ex-husband and his troubles, but as a mother of a daughter the same age, I worried about the future of the affair partner's child. I irresponsibly wished for her to grow up properly. Women can be scary when angered. I had a terrible experience. Really wish for mercy. Did you know? I can be scary too. I might do something even worse to you. Just pay the remaining alimony you haven't paid at all. Oh, all right. My words seemed to have an effect on my ex-husband, who had a rough time, and he reluctantly started paying the alimony.
Sarah, now that the alimony is being paid, maybe you don't need to answer calls from your ex-husband anymore?
Yes, but what if he stops paying again? From now on, I'll handle any communication with your ex.
I should have done it from the start. I know it's still a source of anxiety for you, even though I'm your husband now.
Oh no, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Saying that, Daniel blocked my ex-husband's number on my phone. The alimony was paid little by little each month, and recently the full amount was finally paid off.
Thank you so much. I don't know what my life would have been like if I hadn't met you, Daniel.
You're welcome.
It took some time as a lawyer, but I'm glad we got a good result. And as your husband, I'd do anything for you.
Sitting together on the couch, Daniel lovingly pulled me close. I rested in his arms, feeling safe. 15 years ago, I was in shambles when I visited a law office. There, I met Daniel, who, for some reason, took a liking to me. He healed my wounds and we got married. We were blessed with a treasure, Charlotte, and since then, we have been living happily.
Ah, again Mom and Dad are all lovey-dovey.
Charlotte.
That's right. Your mom and I are always in love.
Ah, I'm so jealous. I want to find someone and have a relationship like Mom and Dad in the future. Isn't it a bit early for you to think about marriage and boyfriends?
Dad, your eyes are scary.
Oh, come on. You have me, right? Charlotte, I hope you find someone wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, Sarah.
Our family is enveloped in smiles.
In my current family life, I found the peace I never had in my previous marriage. I couldn't help but feel deeply grateful to be with my family now.